All right, Rob the Darksider with you on a dark, dark day. No pun intended. So, before I get to why it's a dark, dark day, don't forget to check me out on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to check out the podcast, Jets Fans Uncensored. You can look me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, the podcasts, whatever. Thanks for listening, watching, whatever you're doing. Please participate. Leave some comments, argue with me, fight with me, agree with me, whatever you want to do. Let's keep it going. So I'm going to try and do this every day, as I said in yesterday's video. I just don't know in the off season if I'll have enough topics. They might be shorter ones. I know the YouTube videos have traditionally been a little shorter, but I'm trying to extend them out a bit and do it as a podcast. That way it's in both places. But regardless, I don't know how long this one's going to be. I'm going to whine, I'm going to cry, I'm going to bitch. So the dark, dark day today, right? Now, before I get to why it's the dark, dark day, it's not like the event that occurred today was so earth shattering, right? But if you've watched my videos before, you know that I have been skeptical and complaining about the AFC being so stacked, right? You got four young, really good quarterbacks that are going to be there every year. One team a year can make the Super Bowl, just one. Okay, only one can make the Super Bowl. Obviously, seven make the playoffs. So, okay. So now that the Jets hopefully can have the seventh best quarterback in the league in the conference, but we'll get there. Okay. So four really good young quarterbacks who will be around for at least the next 10 years. Right? And if they go in the same direction they've been going, we're in trouble. And I said that already. Like, this is how you know the Jets are going to get good now, because they're gonna get good. They're gonna be in the same position they're always in. They're not gonna be able to compete because everyone's better. So it doesn't matter how good you are. It's kind of like these combines that are going on now, right? People setting records for speed everywhere. Hey, fastest corners here, fastest offensive lineman there. Yeah, but everybody's faster. Who the hell cares? I was gonna say F. Who the hell cares? They're all fast now. So let's move on to the skills and what they can actually do. That's what it's like with the Jets in a little different way now. The Jets are going to get good. You can mark my words on that, because the alternative is, it wouldn't be same old Jets if the Jets continue to suck where everyone else is good. This is your signal. Jets are going to get good. It's just not going to be good enough. But the Jets are gonna kind of climb up into the middle of the pack. And in 10 years ago, 5 years ago, this year, the Jets would be contenders for the division title every year, or like kind of like that. I'm trying to think of a team in the last bunch of years that, maybe the Steelers, okay? The Steelers, who, I'm not saying they're going to have the history of the Steelers, but who never quite good enough to get over the hump. Maybe once or twice they did, but they were there every year. There's always the Patriots, there's always the Colts that beat them out. That's what the Jets are headed for, right? Because you got the guys I'm talking about now. Obviously, the four great ones are Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, not necessarily in that order. Put it whatever order you want. Herbert's probably clearly the fourth. Burrow would be, second or third, depending where you want to put Mahomes and Allen. But I'll put Burrow third, and then depending on the week, we go Allen and Mahomes. Okay, so now you got those four guys that are fantastic. You got Lamar Jackson, who dynamic guy, hasn't gotten over the hump yet, still young. I mean, does he turn into more? But the Ravens are there every year too. So that's five, right? That means if you don't take any other quarterback in the entire conference and put them ahead of Wilson, the Jets can be the sixth best team in the conference. We're talking about regular basis here. We're not talking about a given year, on a regular basis, right? I'm not ready to put Wilson at that point just yet. But today, March 8th, 2022, Russell Wilson got traded to the Denver Broncos. I mean, are you kidding me here? Now you want to see Darksider stuff? I'm crying. I'm crying here. I'm devastated. Russell Wilson, one of the top four quarterbacks in the entire league, gets traded into the conference now. And while that doesn't affect the Jets directly, because he's not in a division and they don't play the Broncos all the time, and hey, he'll be knocking off the Chiefs and the Chargers here and there. They play twice a year. At the end of the day, in a terrible year, the Jets can be the seventh or eighth best team and be a pretty good team, but fighting for the last playoff spot, right? And in a year where some of these guys are doing well and others get hurt, or they get knocked off early in the year, or whatever, they have injuries and can't overcome the loss of players around them, then the Jets at best are fighting for fourth or fifth. And we're in that same spot we've always been at the best points of our history, which is fighting for wild card spots. So at best, the Jets will be fighting for wild card spots for at least the next 5 years, at best, and maybe not even that, right? You got to figure Russell Wilson's 33. He's got 4 to 5 good years left in him. These guys are playing later and later. I mean, you can't breathe on the quarterback without getting a 15-yard penalty, right? So Russell Wilson could play till he's 40. So let's just call it 5 years, okay? Russell Wilson, 5 years. The other 4 guys, 5. Let's include Lamar Jackson in there. This is a Darksider podcast, Lamar Jackson. That means now that you got 6 guys, and Wilson is 7th best if he's not better than David Carr, if he's not better than Deshaun Watson if he plays, if he's not better than Tua, if he's not better than Tannehill, if he's not better than Carson Wentz, whatever. Just name your quarterback, whatever. Wilson now could be the 7th best guy in the league, which means in a given year the Jets will be fighting for the 7th playoff spot and getting their asses kicked by the number 2 seed every year. Okay, so you got Wilson's got at least 4 to 5 good years left in him. You got Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and Herbert, who have at least 10 years in them. I don't know if their team's going to be good, but those are good quarterbacks. And as we've seen, good quarterbacks make teams good. So those guys have at least 10 years in them. And in the case of Herbert and Burrow, they're 23 years old. They could have 15 years in them. Allen's is only 24, 25, right? Mahomes is only 26. You're talking about these guys. And then we get to Lamar Jackson, who for me could be the most dynamic of the bunch in a lot of ways. Hasn't gotten over the hump. We still haven't seen him really mature as a throwing pocket passer quarterback and get things done in the big games. But the Ravens are always there, and he's a part of that. So you're talking 6 quarterbacks who will be dogfighting most seasons. And again, that doesn't take into account other quarterbacks who are mid-level guys who could have a big year, and if one of these other guys gets hurt, they sneak in. You got to figure that, Mac Jones, I didn't even mention him. You got to figure the Steelers and Patriots will be back, right? They're not going to suddenly fold into bad teams. So you've got 6 elite quarterbacks, 5 elite quarterbacks, 1 borderline elite quarterback. If Deshaun Watson plays again, you've got 6 elite quarterbacks and 1 borderline in Lamar Jackson. And then that doesn't even take into account what the rest of the teams will do. So we are doomed. We're doomed. We're not going anywhere. We can stop everything right now with hoping for the future and wondering whether we're building correctly. This is not going to matter. It is not going to matter. We are going to be the 2009-10 Jets all over again at best, or basically, with the exception of 1998, the Jets' ceiling has always been, second best and fighting for a wild card, and that is what we're going to be. So prepare yourself, folks. I'm going to be an old man with a white beard down to here talking about this again in another 10 years. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty old in 10 years. And that's just the way it's going to be. All right, good. You want to fight with me? You want to tell me I'm crazy? One of my friends already told me, worry about yourself. Don't worry about the other teams. Well, I'm going to worry about them anyway. I'm going to worry about them. That's going to be it. All right, I'm going to sign off now. Stop complaining and whining at you. Dark day, man. Dark day. Wasn't the like this big, huge thing that happened, but it is just piling on more and more on top of what we already knew was happening. Man, it's tough being a Jet fan. Anyway, I hope you like the new background. I did this semi-professionally. I got a green screen. It's actually blue because the green would knock out the green hat. But got a blue screen, put up a nice background. Tomorrow, right, that's be March 9th, I have a little thing to hold the camera better so you're not right up in my face here counting my nostril hairs. And I'll see you again soon, all right? I'm going to try and do this every day. If I can get that done, then I'll see you tomorrow. If not, then I'll see you soon. All right, Rob the Darksider out.